Okay, so we had this incident happen 5th of August, 5 days ago, and it made the news. Amazing, it made the news. This Maniac driver trying to run over some cyclists. So let's have a look here, and I'll commentate as we go along.
The hunt is on for a Maniac driver deliberately ramming cyclists off the road at North Haven. As Hannah Ford reports, one of the terrifying attacks was caught on camera.
It was here along this stretch of Lady Gowrie Drive that the motorist in a stolen Ford.
So he's saying a stolen Ford, and apparently the story started that, let's have a look here, there was a police report that the car owner at the garage address was not driving at the time, but they had given information of who has the car, and they would have been driving, and detectives were following it up. So it went from, their friends, gave it to some friends to drive, and now it's apparently a stolen car. So I found that interesting that they're bringing up that it's a stolen car. But let's run with it. Stolen car, 2003 old 18-year-old Ford car, and somebody's gone to all the trouble to steal it. All right.
Began targeting innocent riders. Between 6:30 and 7 o'clock on Thursday morning last week, 3 cyclists were set upon. Police say the first was thrown off his bike after being driven at and hitting a curb, suffering grazing and bruising.
So you can see there, he's just deliberately went over into the bike lane. We'll play that again. And several times lurched forward until he hit the back of the bike.
7 o'clock on Thursday morning last week, 3 cyclists were set upon. Police say the first was thrown off his bike after being driven at and hitting a curb, suffering grazing and bruising. The second also forced off the road.
So you can see here how that's the road there. Perfectly, who wouldn't want to cycle and drive on that road? Look at it, beautiful big bike lane, big lane for the cars. What's the problem, man? That is just a perfect place to ride. Unbelievable. Here we go.
Into the dirt, while the third was struck by the aggressive driver. He was thrown off his bike too, which was significantly damaged.
As somebody who regularly rides up and down this portion of our beautiful coastline, that's quite disturbing to think that somebody would actually willfully do that to fellow cyclists.
Police are looking for a 2003 Ford Fairmont, which could have damage to the front bumper. Police are appealing for anyone with possible dash cam or CCTV of the incident to come forward.
So there we go, that was the first clip. So basically, he claims it's been stolen, so anyone that was in his workplace that's seen him sort of drive to work or whatever, they should dob him in, basically, because if he's saying it's stolen, that's his alibi, then, not good if it wasn't stolen. So it actually grew a bit of traction, this story, because they did a second story, and I'll play that now. 6 o'clock news, actually, like the first story was at 4 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock they actually led with the story. So let's have a look at the 6 o'clock one. Go over to here. Here we go. 6 o'clock story.
Live from Adelaide, 7 News with Jane Doyle.
Good evening. First to the hunt for a maniac driver who's been deliberately ramming cyclists on a busy beachside road. Let's go straight to Hannah Ford with the details. And Hannah, one of the attacks was caught on camera.
As we saw.
It was, Jane, a terrifying encounter for the innocent cyclist involved. It was here on Lady Gowrie Drive that the driver in the stolen Ford began terrorising innocent cyclists, at least 3 in total. Police say...
Yeah, so there was 3 in total. This guy here that actually had the cam footage from a rear-facing, I think it was a Fly 6, one of those, like a red light, flashing red light and camera all in one. He didn't get too injured, but there was one that actually got pretty injured, and he's pretty beat up about it,
It was between 6:30 and 7 o'clock on Thursday morning last week that the trio was separately set upon. Police say the first was struck from behind and thrown off his bike,
like
hitting the curb, suffering nasty grazes and bruising. The second victim was also forced off the road into the dirt, while the third was rammed by the dangerous driver.
Crazy,
he was thrown off his bike, which suffered significant damage.
think that was the one, yeah.
As somebody who regularly rides up and down this portion of our beautiful coastline, that's quite disturbing to think that somebody would actually willfully do that to fellow cyclists.
Oh, they could have got killed easy.
Oh, totally.
Easily got run over. And someone to do that purposely, they've got a bit of anger there, yeah, for sure.
So they found the car, and this is a little bit here they're showing finding the car in Plympton.
Late today, police found the 2003 Ford Fairmont.
So there we go. That's the number plate there, XFI869. So if you know the driver of the car and know the full story, if you've seen it just driving around, just see if you can add to it. They've got a Crimestoppers phone number that you can ring as well.
Used in the attacks, dumped on a Plympton street. But the driver tonight remains at large. Police are pleading with anyone who may have dash cam to come forward. Jane.
So there we go. So yeah, so you know, I went to the Facebook page and there's the usual, annoying cyclists shouldn't be on the road, blah blah blah. Now, as I showed in the video, it's a pretty decent road. Like, most cyclists don't tend to ride on roads that are full of cars with no bike lanes. And I was thinking, what else is annoying? I made a list. What else is annoying on the road? Traffic, other cars. So these motorists sort of think, we'll get rid of the cyclists. There'll be less cars. It's like no. There'll be less problems. There'll actually be more problems, because the people that used to cycle. Because remember when you were a kid, I'm 50. I remember when I was a kid, we used to cycle to school, and of course. Then the parents got a bit worried, and they used to drive them to school. And then there was more cars on the road, so then parents got more worried because there's more cars on the road. And then more people stopped riding to school until nobody rode to school. I remember in my day there was like rows and rows and rows of bike racks, and you used to have to get to school 10 minutes early so you could get a bike rack to lock your bike up. Otherwise you'd be looking for a tree or something and put your bike on. So things have changed, and they're not changed for the better. You're getting actually more cars because people aren't riding bikes. So that's a fallacy that will scare all the cyclists off the road, and then it'll be great, it'll be perfect. There'll be no cyclists. We'll have a free run. It's like the perfect idea. I agree, is to go from A to B at 400 k's an hour. No speed limits, straight roads, nobody around you, no trees to bash into, no stobie poles or light poles. They call them stobie poles in Adelaide. You put the power poles on. Let's see, there'll be no parked cars. That'll be great. No traffic lights. That'll be good. No corners. Don't want to slow for corners. That'll be stupid. No parking limits. Just park all day. Beautiful. No pedestrians. Those silly pedestrians, they might walk in front of you as well. No light poles. Said that before. And no trees, because they can kill you if you crash into those at 400 k's an hour. Hey, so yeah, in a perfect world, that'd be it. You'd have perfect roads, perfectly safe, and no accidents and everything. But we don't live in a perfect world, and cyclists are part of the mix on the road. You got to live with them, and just share the road. It's not too difficult. So I think I'll wrap it up there. So the guy's claiming that his car was stolen. I don't know. Who's going to steal an 18-year-old Ford car? It didn't look that great, did it? Would you be hanging out for this car? Would you be saying, "Please, thieves, can you steal this car for me?" Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at this marvellous car. Look at that. What a fine specimen of a car that is. Here we go. Let's have a look. So there's the car there. Who would want to steal that car? Crazy. I think the police officers are going to smell the bullshit, and they're going to come down on him. He'll crack eventually. There'll be a hole in the story. He'll get arrested. But yeah, hopefully justice will be served, because that's just crazy. It doesn't serve any purpose. We should be encouraging more cyclists on the road, more infrastructure. And then if you want to drive your car, you're going to have less traffic. There's going to be less cyclists on the road. And if you take all the cyclists off the road, they'll probably want to go to spin class. They'll have to drive their car there. You'll have more cars on the road. It's just flawed logic to think that intimidating cyclists is going to make your life easier on the road. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. As always, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.